Once again, Frank, Karim Benzema is the hero for Real Madrid. I think you can put up a very, very strong argument that him and Robert Lewandowski are the two best players in the world at this very moment. After this break, they've both come back, they've both hit the ground running. And if Real Madrid are going to go and win this title, it's because of Benzema.
Yes, he's second top scorer in La Liga behind Messi, and he's absolutely fantastic. The goal that he scored the last game is a pure beauty, and what he does, even if we can contest the fact that it was a handball, because it was a handball, it's the movement. What he does, the ways he turns, shows that he's already fit. Where we can see that some players are still finding their fitness. He's already there. He's already at the top, and it shows it every game that he plays. So he's again at his best of his career, and he's been a long time like that. He's a fantastic player, no doubt about that, and he deserves to be the striker of Real Madrid and maybe the best striker in the world.
Did Zidane get away with it a bit today, Gab? Obviously, the likes of James was starting. He made quite a few changes. Hazard on the bench. Real Madrid not as good as they were, for example, in the second half against Valencia.
Yeah, I think in some ways possibly he did. I mean, he didn't in the sense that they won the game, but you know, I don't have an issue with the idea of rotating your squad. But again, when you saw late in the game the way things were turning, you know, I'm surprised he didn't make some substitutions earlier, in particular Ferland Mendy for Marcelo at that stage of the game. Not that Marcelo played badly. You know, the James experiment, you want to get him back in, you want to use your whole depth. You know, I get it, but equally, you know, there are times when you need to perhaps cover up a little bit, try something different, especially that whole spell where James kept coming over to the same size as Vinicius. So I think there are little things that I think with hindsight, Zidane might say, well, I could have done them differently, but it's all right. We got the 3 points. We're ahead.
And a huge relief for Real Madrid, given they were playing second in this round of matches, Frank. They knew that Barcelona had dropped points. They knew this was their chance to go level at the top of the table. It is a chance that they've taken. And what it sets up, what's great for us just who love watching football, is that the remaining matches are going to be fascinating because this is going to be a real tete-a-tete.
Yeah, exactly, and we want to see that because in the Premier League we know that Liverpool is going to be the champion. In Bundesliga it's the same, but we have a fight in Spain, and it's very interesting to see what's going to happen between the two bigs in La Liga, and that nothing is going to be over until the end, because I guess they're going to keep on winning games, and who's going to drop maybe 2 points with the draw before the end of La Liga, that nobody has an answer, because they are of course two fantastic teams, and they're going to fight until the end.
It'd be the old cliche, won't it, Gab? With 8 matches to go, we've got 8 finals. We've got to treat every game as the next big one. But for us, that's what we want to see. And of course, it's just going to be an explosion of controversy after these refereeing decisions, depending if you're reading Catalan newspapers or Madrid-based ones.
Yeah, and it's going to be a turning of the screws. And I think the one thing, you know, we've seen this before. The one thing we won't see, I think, is too much head-to-head sniping between the two managers, Quique Setién and Zinedine Zidane. It's just not in their personality. So I think the question is, how are the players going to react? It's really going to be, I think, the media, you know, stoking this. I'll be curious to see if Sergio Ramos responds to his frenemy, Gerard Piqué. But I'll tell you what, Dan, I don't believe that we're going to see these teams rattle off 8 wins in a row. I think there's more twists and turns to come. I think we're seeing these games, they've been so close, most of these games since they came back. Even like Barcelona's big win, you know, against Mallorca, it didn't big on paper, but not in terms of what we saw on the pitch. So don't be surprised if the lead changes hands, you know, again between now and the end of the season. I don't think these teams are going to run the table.
Just a reminder, there'll be a lot more discussion about this, plus all the other big talking points that happen in Europe over the weekend on the next edition of the Gab and Jules podcast. That drops on Monday, and I've heard rumours their special guest is Frank Leboeuf. Must be desperate.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.